on your machine. Okay, we have to wait for some time because the lab provisioning is done by third party, and what they're doing is they're providing you a certain level of access to certain AWS services which are required for you to complete this particular lab exercise. Okay, so this is where your $50 or $20 credits are going to be utilized for. They are going to be utilized for you to do the experimentation. So by the time this lab starts, we can go ahead and check for, I guess I've given you enough insights into the first course today. By the time the lab starts, it takes 2 to 3 minutes. That it definitely takes that much of time. If the internet is not proper, then it may take a few more minutes as well. So don't worry about if it doesn't turn from red to amber to green in a while. Okay, it depends on your internet connectivity. Okay, it takes a bit of while, that's for sure. Okay, by the time it does complete thing, I'm going back here. In the rest of the 15 minutes that we have, what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you if you have any difficulty in registering to the course, because see, I'm turning myself back to my original role, which is a faculty role. So I've started these courses so far. Cloud Foundation course, I've added students to this. I've added students to Generative AI Foundation course, and I guess in the morning I've added student to Machine Learning Foundation model course as well. Okay, so we talked about today AWS Academy Cloud Foundation course. If I click on this, I'm just showing you how many students I've added. This is my interface, is not you, so I need to reset the student, but reset नी माझे लॅब जाईल. मी 2 मिनटं थांबतो, त्या लॅबचा ॲक्सेस झाला की लॅब कशी दिसते आणि लॅबमधनं तुम्ही कसा तुमचं टास्क कंप्लीट करू शकता ते थोडं ब्रीफली दाखवतो. Let us wait for 2 minutes. Meanwhile, somebody has not received the mail for first 2 courses. The courses namely Cloud Foundation course or Cloud Generative AI course. If you have not received a mail from AWS Academy to as an invitation to access these 2 courses, put in the chat window your name so that I can search in this list whether you had opted for it or not. So I've course wise segregated the data. I'll just quickly check your name, whether you have provided me details or not. So these are your forms responses, and these are the few courses. For course 1 and 2 I have actually segregated the list. So these many number of I know that I have not put these 2 guys because they were late in registering. Let me just insert their names once I get the access. Okay, lab kuthwar ali. Okay, see, the light has turned green now. It took 4 minutes. Okay, and once you have the access to AWS account, if I click on AWS detail, now it will show you. Remember, I've actually had closed this off. It shows my access details. So these are my access details. Maybe at this time you might not understand what all these things are, but once you are through the course, you'll understand what these details means. For us, for now, what it means that this has become green means is I now have access for 2 hours, that is 1 hour 56 minutes, to AWS services. So I can click on this. Again, I need to have my pop-up blocker off. So I was in this. From here I went here where the lab started by clicking start lab, and then I now have this access. Don't close this window because this window shows you what you are supposed to do in the particular lab. See, in this lab what we want to work on is a service of AWS called as IAM service, Identity and Access Management Service. Okay, what you have got over here is an temporary access to AWS console. Now the AWS web service through a website provides you access to different services that are available. ये जो अलग अलग सर्विसेज है, कलेक्शन है, उनका ये जो एक्सेस आपको ब्राउज़र बेस्ड मिलता है, that is referred to as a console access. So AWS console. So this is the AWS console access that I am getting. So now this link, if I provide it into chat window and you click on that, you will not be able to log in, but you will be thrown to the login page. But here this user has an account right now. This is the account ID, this is the user name, and some of the things the user has denied access for. Okay, now my laptop is getting down, let it be. We have only 10-15 minutes to go through. Now this particular thing is called as AWS console. If I want to access a particular AWS service from this console, there are various ways. I'll teach you one or two ways and then we'll stop. I can search the name of service if I know the name of service. In this case, I know that I need to work on a service named IAM. So I'll type service name in the search pane and it will search me the service that I want to access, IAM. This is one way of accessing the service. Another way to access the service is this 9 square box that is there. I can click on that and I'll get to see a lot of categories in which the various services are categorized. Now this IAM service, the name of IAM, the short form IAM stands for Identity Access Management. So it's a security related service. So I can click, I can find where the security related service or security S आहे ते sorted आहेत सगळे. तर मला इथे त्या सर्विसेस दिसतात आणि ह्याच्यात कुठेतरी IAM असेल. So I can click on this IAM. Or I can make this service as my favorite service by clicking here, and as I make it favorite, now I can click on favorites and it will be there in the favorite service. So this is how I can easily access a particular service. See, the service started appearing in this pane as well because I made it a favorite service. Okay, today we are not going to do much. Once suppose your work is over on this particular infrastructure and I don't want to anymore work with this, I can click on sign out. This will sign me out from the AWS service. I close the window and then I come back to this lab. My lab is still running. I want to stop the lab. I need to click on end lab. This will end the lab session for me, and now the lab session is off. As the lab session got off, my credentials which were created for 2 hours, they no more exist and I cannot access that particular user anymore. Next time when I start the lab, I'll be getting another access for 2 hours, and that user may or may not be same user. It will inherit the services that you created, but the user might be a different user instance. Okay, let's close this up and close the session as well because I've had a lot of discussion today. Next time around we'll talk about generative AI foundation course and what modules the course has, and if anybody wants to have a particular discussion on any particular topic related to foundation course that you have started studying, you can within the week put it on the WhatsApp group that we want a discussion on this topic. We have tried to learn but we are struggling. We can have discussion on those topics as well. So this will be the nature of Saturday sessions. 1 hour session on Saturdays. Timings we will fix later. Today was a working day, so I have kept it in the morning. We can keep it in the evening, 7 to 8 as well, but not in late evening. That is after 8 I don't generally work. I relax after 8 o'clock. So up to 8 o'clock in the evening also we can keep. It depends on how many people are ready, how many people have problems, and how many people are serious about learning things. Okay, it all boils down to that. Now before you leave, I would like you to put certain things in the chat window. One thing is I've already asked you to put the messages saying whether you have not got the access. That is the information that you wanted to put in. The other important thing you put in is you can put in your name so that I know that you attended the session. You can put your names in the chat window so that I know these people attended the session, and I may expect you to attend some more sessions if you like to, that is. So before you leave, put your names in the chat window. If you have not received the mail yet from me for the course that you have opted for, between first and the second course, then make sure to tell me so in the chat window so that I can right away provide you the access. Okay.